Hi, and welcome back to Crypto Earn, where knowledge is power and power brings wealth. Today, a quick intro. We're going to be looking at some news about mining. We're going to look at quick technical analysis. Then on-chain, we'll look who's actually buying. And as you can see a picture here, the whales are buying now and the weak hands are selling. Then we're going to look at in staking. We're going to stake at 600 APR. Yes, you've heard me right, 600 APR. And then we will finally close with our community or channel. Okay, on the news, this video, we're going to look at just a feature from CoinDesk, which is the mining in Bitcoin and what it means and how it's changing and where is it going to. We know that mining's got a bad press generally from those anti-Bitcoin because they say that it uses up so much energy. But if we actually look at the details, we find that it's actually getting greener. People are using more renewable energies, and there are more and more businesses which are actually coming out offering services. For example, I think Tesla themselves, they're now offering a simple rig to connect the mining machines using solar power, and obviously their batteries, that's in their interest. Also, there are cases that you read, I mean, they're anecdotal, but there's some guys actually got a rig at home and he actually uses the extra heat that is produced by the machines to heat his swimming pool. So that was just a nice case study there. But just going into the more of the detail, can crypto miners make the world greener? Let's do a little bit of an analysis and see what CoinDesk has as its main feature article here. Around 15,000 cryptocurrency mining rigs are humming away at Hive blockchain 30 megawatt data center in Boden, Sweden. So this is one example of one particular rig that they're reporting on here, but not all the time. Sometimes the facility powers down to help the local grid. The data center, drawing cheap energy from local hydropower producers, acts as one of the largest, if not the largest, active energy reserves the Swedish grid can call upon whenever there are major disturbances to the local power supply. The facility can shut down its machines almost instantaneously, so the energy can quickly be diverted to public use. So you can imagine that maybe at night when there's very little use of energy, they can actually use the extra energy which is being produced by the power plants in the rig. And then if there is a peak, be it a football match or in the evenings or very cold weather when people switch on all the heaters or whatever, then they can actually like hum down and switch off the machines so that all the power can go to the local community. In 5 seconds, we have to power down half of what we have allowed into the system, said Johan Thornbrot, Hive Blockchain Sweden country president. And within 30 seconds, the entire power supply that is being requested has to be participating in the FCRD system, the frequency containment reserved for disturbances that keeps the lights on in the region. When managed like that, the energy demand of Hive mine is an asset to the local electricity grid. The miners are a stable source of cash flow when public energy consumption is low, but can power off during peak hours. The mutually beneficial relationship between Hive facility and the local grid shows another side to the well-worn story of crypto mining's environmental consequences. So you can continue reading this here. I mean, some of the negative FUD that we hear all the time from some the anti-Bitcoins, but just to start educating ourselves on what are some of the benefits on the mining. And I think just in very general terms, we need to recognize that the strength of Bitcoin, why Bitcoin is unique, why it's not Ethereum and it's not Shiba and it's not any other, is because of the proof of work mining that goes on behind. It is virtually impossible even to try and get to the 1.5 billion that Tesla or that Elon has there. Even all the resources you would want to put into stealing that money, hacking that money, scamming that money, it's not easy. And this is what the mining of the network does. Yeah, if it was easy, then people would be hacking, would be taking the money, and then it wouldn't be a world, or it couldn't become a world currency. But right now we need to remember that some people are trusting their billions of dollars into this network, and it's only because the security is second to none. There's no other system in the world that is as powerful as the proof of work that this industry has, and it's virtually impossible to crack. In another issue, we will look at another FUD that comes along every so often, which is the quantum computers, and we will look into that at another point. On the technical analysis, we have seen that there's been a large drop here. That was yesterday's candle, and it was a nasty negative candle here. But having said that, we can see that it's still following to some extent some rules here. We have this support line, which is now being used as a support there, and that is good news because it means that we still have strength in the price. It's at 39,211, so hopefully it won't come below this line in this dip, and it will now bounce back up. You can see the pattern here. So this is the support sending line, and it's now we can actually draw this other line here, which will make a channel. If we look at this channel, if I can freeze this from auto, you can see where the channel will be going. So if it continues going up this channel, which is likely to do, although it will actually break, we hope it will break up, but yeah, some people will argue, the bears will argue that it might break down. But if it comes up to here a couple of times, we can imagine that by end of May, we could be hitting 50,000, yeah. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be between 50 and 60,000, but we are very hopeful that it will actually break out of the channel and maybe be at the all-time highs by the end of the year. So this is what we have for now. We look at the 1 hour candles. It keeps on testing this support here. And yeah, the hope is that it will go up. But in the previous section on news or the on-chain analysis, we said about the whales, yeah? The weak hands are selling and the whales are buying. The weak hands are selling and the whales are buying, yeah? And let's try not to be in that cohort of the weak hands selling. Let's hodl that this is going to get us into financial independence, hopefully in the not too distant future. On-chain analysis. So who's actually buying and who's actually selling the Bitcoins at this very moment? We know we've actually had a bit of a dip in the last few days, and it's interesting to know what is happening. And on-chain analysis can give us a deep insight into what exactly is happening. So there's a new metric from Glassnode where you can actually see in Bitcoin accumulation trend score by cohort. Cohorts are the types of wallets that exist on the chain. Yeah, the under one BTC, which would normally be called a shrimp. I would say more these are the newbies. People just come in, they've heard from a friend, and they just go and buy a little bit. Then 1 to 10, we could say these are the retailers, which are the fish. No, these are not the fish. These are the crabs. And these are the people who are a little bit serious. They've been doing it maybe for a year or two or longer, and they just doing the DCA, saving every month or whenever they can, putting some money aside. And they understand pretty well what Bitcoin is and why it's worth actually accumulating. Then 10 to 100 BTC, these are probably more serious investors. These are what we call the fish. 100 to 1K would be the sharks, which now get into serious money here, maybe institutions, small businesses, and 1K to 10K, which are the renowned whales, yes. Now we can see that in the last, since March to April, we can actually see the colors go by greatest accumulation to lowest accumulation. We can also see the 100 to 1K BTC wallet cohorts have contributed the least to overall accumulation, the red zone. So the least would be the red zone, whilst the whale cohorts, the greater than 1K, have commenced serious accumulation over the last 2 weeks. This includes entire entities such as the Luna Foundation, which we know has been buying large amounts of Bitcoin, which we'll explore in more in the next section. Anyhow, so the dark blue, you can see here, the newbies coming in are all very keen. And this is not amounts of Bitcoin, but actually wallets, number of wallets which have actually been active accumulating. So there's been a great number of wallets in this shrimp area, which have been accumulated in the last 2 weeks. And surprisingly, the other big number of wallets which have been active have been the whales, 1K, 1,000 to 10,000 Bitcoins. So this is, again, not the number of Bitcoins, but the number of wallets that have been active. And then in between, we have the crabs, which are maybe the hodlers, the retailers, and then we have the fish, which are probably the bigger investors. So this is very interesting. And here obviously goes with respect to the price. So a very good metric here. In terms of the wallets, the whales buying the Bitcoins, well, the question always arises, who are these whales buying the Bitcoins from? Well, the price of Bitcoin is determined by offer and demand. Yeah, so you cannot buy Bitcoin if somebody's not offering it, and you cannot sell a Bitcoin if somebody is not buying it from you. So the whales will buy the Bitcoins for people who are selling it. And in these times of fear, when the price dips down and people think it's going to go to zero, and the usual stories, the FUD of always, then the weak hands will actually sell their Bitcoins. And who will pick them up? Of course, in this case, is the whales. So this is an article in Cointelegraph. Nothing stops Bitfinex whales. Nonetheless, not everyone was attempting an exit. This is talking about, everybody getting scared and selling the Bitcoin. According to the latest data, Bitcoin whales were busy buying up new supply from sellers, with exchange Bitfinex seeing some notable bid volumes getting filled. So these are the similar graphics showing how the whales are buying from the weak hands. Cointelegraph previously reported on the significance of Bitfinex whales and their buying and selling habits this year. Another large volume wallet and known origin likewise continued to buy millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin at regular intervals, regardless of price action, a strategy known as dollar cost average. This is another item that we have in our videos, which is how to strategically accumulate Bitcoin without having to spend too much time delving into the markets. And finally, this is Bitcoin Magazine, a nice picture here of exactly what's happening. And the subtext is stop selling your Bitcoin to whales. Once again, just hodl, 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 that this will all come round to us again. Yield farming, staking, and liquidity pools. Today we're going to look at IMMORTAL DAO Finance. Here we're receiving a APY of 59,000. Yes, you're reading it right, 59,000. Okay, this is APY, which means that it's actually compounded interest. But to get an idea of what this would be as an APR, I have found this calculator here that will do that for us. And as you know, on the internet, there seems to be a calculator for everything. So here it is, APY to APR. This is, if you just do a search, calculates APY to APR. I'll put it here. So it's 59,000%. I'll do a daily compound frequency, although I think in the platform it does every 8 hours. But anyhow, just for the sake of this calculation, let's do daily, and we get an APR of around 644%. That is what it is, 644. So we're gonna, in a previous video, I showed you this web and this opportunity, but today we're actually going to go through it and the whole process and load some funds in here. Before we go through the process, let's just look at a few things on the platform. Yes, so we go to the dashboard. The current price for IMMO, the token is 32.81. We can also check this in this website, which gives you all the unusual tokens that we might not find in CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. So this is DEX Screener. We can just go to dexscreener.com, find the token. I'll write IMMO, and then you'll find IMMO against MCUSD. This is all, these are also small tokens, and we can go through them in a later video, but just basically assume that this is per dollar. So price right now is around 32, as you can see here, and we've seen the variation. It went up to 50, back down to 20, 28. But the important thing is that from the 23rd of March till 13th of April is actually remained approximately around between 33 or 27 and 33. So this is relatively stable. These are all very risky investments, but sometimes we need to just go for it. So 32.91. So this is the DEX screen. If we go back to the website, we can see what else. Buy IMMO. Okay, one of the easiest way to buy IMMO, if you know your way around, is to have already a Cello wallet, connect your wallet, and then just buy directly from Cello to IMMO. But most of us, maybe we're not very familiar with the Cello wallet, so I will gonna go through the process using the MetaMask wallet, which I hope some of you are more familiar with. So within the MetaMask wallet, we can actually add various networks, but we'll do that in a second. Let's come back here just to do a quick calculation. How much do you think we might be able to earn with this type of APR or APY? Let's imagine we put 30 IMMOs, which is approximately, if it's a $30 each, so we're going to be looking at approximately $1,000. If we put $1,000 over 30 days, and we assume, okay, here's the APY, 59,000. If it doesn't go down by much, which it might do, but it's not going to significantly drop. If the price in a month's time is still 38.2, 38.81, then we would actually be receiving about $600 from this investment. This is how much we are able to earn here. So let's do it. The process. First of all, MetaMask is quite a common add-on wallet for your browser, whether it be Chrome or Mozilla or Edge. So you add this wallet to your browser. It will initially come in probably by default on the Ethereum mainnet, but we're not going to use the Ethereum mainnet. I use it a lot for the Binance Smart Chain, but in this case, we're going to use the Cello mainnet. Okay, I'm going to assume you don't have the Cello mainnet here and show you how to add the Cello mainnet. So how you do that is you come to this area here, you do add network, and then it's going to ask you a series of information, which is very important you get it from the right place. I cannot emphasize this enough. There's a lot of scams in wallets, well, in crypto in general, hacks, etc., etc. So this is all a risky path to be taken. But if we're careful and very conscientious, maybe we can, be safe with our money. So the way I would suggest to approach this is to go to the root, and the root is going to be, you type here Cello. Don't even follow links, yeah? You type cello.org. This is their official website. From cello.org, we go right to the bottom. I mean, you can do some reading there if you want. I don't know if you know about Cello or not, but it's a very important network, which is a blockchain, which is providing lots of services now. But just not to make it too long, we go from Cello to docs, documentation. From documentation, we're going to go to wallets. And from wallets, we're going to go to MetaMask. You can add their own Cello wallet, and you can also put it on a ledger, but to make it as simple as possible, I'm going to go to the MetaMask. And then we're going to do the manual setup. If you go to manual setup, you will find the information that you need to add to your MetaMask. The RPC URL, the ID chain, and the currency symbol. Network name, well, you can just add here Cello. This is really anything. The URL, so you can find all the information. The chain ID, currency symbol. And as you can see, it says this URL currently used by the Cello mainnet network. So it's recognizing it as the URL for the Cello, yeah? The block URL here, it's optional, but let's just put it in to be ultra safe. And then here you would do save. I cannot do it because I already have it in my MetaMask. So assuming these all work fine, then you will have a MetaMask here with a Cello mainnet. Yeah. Right now in my Cello mainnet, I have 0 Cello and 0 IMMO and 0 everything. So how do we get the easiest way? As I say, you can go directly here and buy your IMMOs, but I find the easiest way is to have Cello in an exchange such as Binance or any other you might choose, to KuCoin or whatever, and then send it here, and then from here buy the IMMO. So let's do that. I'm going to now go to Binance. Here I am at Binance. Remember that if you haven't got an account with Binance, then you're welcome to open it with a link in the description below, and you will get lower fees forever, and you also help the channel. So from Binance, let's go to my wallet, Fiat and Spot wallet. And here I have some Binance USD, BUSD. I've got 99.67. Actually wanted to put $100 just as a test run, but I didn't quite make it. So I'm going to trade my BUSD for, well, let's just see if I can find the pair with Cello. I think it might not be available. So if I go to Okay, it is available. So Cello BUSD. So I'm going to buy Cello. Yeah, so this is Cello BUSD. So I'm going to buy Cello, and I'm going to just buy at market price. Yeah, buy Cello, all of it. I'm not going to be trading or finding the best value here. I'm just going to put it market 100%, and I'll get what I get. 31.9 Cello. There it is. So now I'm going to send my Cello off to my MetaMask wallet in the Cello mainnet. So if I go back to wallet, I have my Cello here, 31.9. So going back to my MetaMask, this is my address, copy address, withdraw, Cello, new address. Network is the Cello address. This is correct because I actually have the Cello mainnet address. And I'm going to transfer all of it, which is 31.9 Cello, withdraw, ensure that the address is correct and on the same network, transaction cannot be cancelled, continue. I'll pause the video here while I get all this information done. So the withdrawal request is submitted and complete. So I have my Cello in my MetaMask now. This is the one I just sent from Binance. So now we want to buy some IMMO, and we can buy the IMMO from their own exchange here. I'm going to make it from Cello to IMMO. Now I need to connect the wallet. Remember, the wallet is already installed. Then I can do a connect wallet. And it will ask me which wallet to connect. I'll connect my MetaMask. I've got to agree. Remember, these are times whenever we give access to our wallet, then we must remember in the future to either remove that access or be aware of who was given access to. So here we've recognized now my 31.889 Cello. I'm going to do the maximum, and I'm going to get, look at that, 3.033 in. That's a nice number. So let's do it. The price impact is very little, which is good. Somebody will take a fee, of course, and the minimum receipt will be 2.988. Okay, so my 30033 will become 2.988 because there is a fee. They confirm the swap. Unexpected issue with estimating the gas. Please try again. Need to confirm it through MetaMask. We again check what the gas is, etc. Just have a quick read here and then confirm it. And the transaction has been submitted. Close. Now soon I should be able to see my IMMOs in here. There you go, 0 Cellos. And now I have 3.033 IMMO. Very cool. So from there now we go back to the Immortal DAO.finance stake. Maximum, there it is recognized as 3.0033 IMMOs, and I'm going to stake my IMMO. Again, I have to authorize that through my MetaMask. One transaction pending. We wait. Your balance will update soon. The transaction was successfully sent. So now I should have my 3 IMMOs. So here it is. The staked balance is 3.033 IMMOs. We will see that the next reward amount, which I think is every 3 hours, we'll check this, it's going to be 0.017. The next reward yield will be 0.5. So every 8 hours, we get like 0.5%. The ROI 5-day rate, 8.9. Total stake balance is $98. But in 5 days, we estimate if everything stays the same, there will be 107. So let's leave it there for a few months. I will keep an eye on it. But as I say, this is just a test trial. If you were to put 1,000 rather than 100, then everything obviously would be 10 times higher. So with all that, we will leave you now, and happy buying and happy investment. So this will be staking in the Immortal DAO Finance. On the channel community, I warmly invite you to please like the videos if you found the content useful, subscribe and hit the bell so that you are notified when next video comes out. And remember that when we get to 1,000 subscribers, my aim is to actually do a draw and give away either 1 Luna or 1 Solana at that time. So please hit those subscribes, hit those likes, and let's enjoy and learn from all these good news. Thank you and ciao.